Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, we don't need very many colors. We've got a titanium white, a cadmium yellow, phthalo blue, Van Dyke brown, and some black. Okay, so you don't need very many colors. This first painting is going to be as simple as possible. We're just going to make it up as we go, and you will see just how easy this can actually be. We're going to pull out just pull out some blue. I'm trying to angle it so you can see it. Maybe I do it like this. Okay, yeah. Just gonna pull out some blue on the 2-inch brush. Okay, 2-inch brush, a little bit of blue. Okay, flip it over, push the brush. Get it on the tips of the bristles. Okay, now we're gonna come up here. Okay, and we're going to start at the top and work our way down. That way our color gets lighter and lighter as we move down. So we're just going to throw this color in wherever. Little circles, flip the brush over. I apologize if my arm gets in the way. I'm going to try to leave some lighter areas. We have nothing set in stone in our head. We just know we need some blue up here for this sky. Okay. Now, once you get a little bit of color on the canvas, sorry, I'm trying to make sure that my canvas stays in focus for you. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to get a little bit more of the blue. Okay, because I want a darker up here. A little darker up here. Okay. Now, you want to try not to stop your brush from moving once you get it started, okay? Go straight across here a little bit, like that. Okay, so now we have some blue up here in the sky. We left some holes. You leave holes, it makes it a lot easier for you to throw in some bright clouds. I'm going to try to throw some bright clouds in on this one. Now, while we got the dirty blue brush here, we're going to go ahead and get a little bit more on the bristles. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to come in down here and just go straight across. Go ahead and put some water on the painting. Water's flat, so you're just going left to right, back and forth strokes like that, okay? You're going to want to do it on both sides, so let's go ahead, get this side, pull some color over this way, okay? Then lightly go across the whole thing, trying to keep the water as flat as possible. But again, you don't want to kill all these little white areas. That can be reflections, I'm thinking. In this painting, maybe, just maybe, the sun is coming from right to left. Okay. As a right-handed painter, it is a lot easier to have the light coming from right to left. That way, when you're using your palette knife, which you'll see later, when you go to make highlights on the side of the mountain where the light is hitting, it's a lot easier to do this motion than it is to do this motion. Okay. All right. Now we'll leave the brush dirty. We'll leave the blue on there because we don't know what we're gonna do next. We're gonna grab 1-inch brush, the little guy, okay? We're gonna come up to the titanium white here. I gotta figure out where's, okay, I can see kind of. Maybe I'll do some cuts on what the palette looks like in the future. Just pull some paint through, decent amount of paint. See if I can put it over the blue and you can see. Okay. Now we're gonna go up here using little circles. Okay. I like to start my clouds where the white is already. Okay. And you're just going to push and kind of dance a little cloud shape in. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Okay, we're gonna go through some more liquid white, not liquid white, sorry, titanium white. And maybe there's one here. Okay, it's not Uh, Nothing is structured. You're just free with it. Okay, so wherever it ends up being, like, see, I have a lot of paint here. It's a lot more paint on the canvas. I'll show you what to do with that real quick. Okay, so I don't want that much white on the canvas, so we grab our knife, go up here to where the paint is, and just zip that paint off of there, just like that. Okay, the white will stay on the canvas, but not all of that paint will stay on the canvas. So don't worry if you feel like you've messed up or you put too much color or not enough white for your clouds. You can always fix things. That's what's so much fun about this style of painting. You can always fix things. So maybe we got one here too. We got one facing the other direction. Now remember, you want to leave these little holes in between your clouds. That way, when you blend it, it will look layered automatically without you doing much at all. All right, so going to wash off my brush. I'm probably going to block the camera because I have my brush washing thing right here. Okay, clean brush, see? And we're still in focus. Okay, cool. Next we're going to take, actually we got to wash the big brush too. The brush that we had the sky color in. I'm gonna put, before I do that, I want a little darker in the water. I want the edges of the water to be a little darker. Yeah, that's better. A little darker there. Yeah, I think I like that better. Okay, now we wash the brush. Wash the brush. Odorless paint thinner to wash oil paints when you're doing wet on wet technique. Shake it off in a bucket or something. Okay. I'm sure everyone's seen Bob Ross do that before. I have a little bucket that I built that I use. Works out really nice for me. Then I just take a paper towel. I just dry it off. Just like that. Clean brush. Okay. Now what we're doing is we're coming up here and we're going to blend the bottoms of the clouds. We want to try to keep, okay, as much of the tops nice and pretty as we can. I might block the camera for a second, but you're just spinning a little bit of the brush underneath the cloud. Okay, flip the brush over, start up here, just kind of spinning it, and just spinning the color a little bit. We'll go up here to this one, spin the color, don't kill your highlights. Then we're going to lift with like a U shape, barely touching it, barely, then flip the opposite direction for the other side. So it's like a little U, okay? And then we're gonna come barely, you can hear on there, I'm barely even touching the canvas, okay? This is just kind of setting those clouds back into the painting now and getting rid of those little swirly brush strokes. Okay, that's it. That's all you gotta do to create clouds. Super simple, super easy. We're gonna leave that brush alone. All right, in an easy oil painting, I think we have a mountain. Ooh, a mountain. Don't get scared. Mountains are not difficult. You need your palette knife. I also need my palette. I just set it down. Hold on. Okie dokie. Mountain. Palette knife. Palette. Okay. We want a sort of a distant mountain. So we're going to do some, we're going to take some blue. We're going to take very small amount of brown. Very small brown, very small black. Okay, just for the color of the mountain. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's it right there. That's all you need. Pull your color out a little flat. I don't know where I got white from, but you can tell right here, the white mixed in. We don't want that. Going to take it back off. That's what we want. We want that right there. Okay. We're going to pull down, cut across. You've heard of the little roll of paint. I'll figure out a way to show that to you guys. Bear with me. First episode. Well, first video. Okay. Now, I need to zoom in so you guys can see. Let me try to zoom in here real quick. That's as close as we can get, guys. Then you decide where you want your mountain. If you can't decide, just put your knife up there. Guess what? Now your mountain has to be there. Okay, this is a smaller mountain, so we're just going to put some paint up there like that. And then you can go back, kind of raise and sharpen the edges. But that's however you want it. You'll come to find real quick that mountains are really fun because you have a lot of leniency with mountains. Okay, so I'm going to make another little peak here. Now, you'll see that I'm scraping this paint off. You want to scrape this paint off. You don't want very much paint on the canvas at all. Okay, so I scraped most of it off, and I'm going to use the rest of that kind of over here, like that. Push and scrape. Pull it out. Okay. Very, very simple, very basic mountain shape. Okay. Now we're going to take the same mountain color. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to grab some titanium white. And I'm going to mix it on here. I need more. I want this to be, we may actually go with this straight blue up here. I think that looks better. We're going to use that in a second as our shadow color for this mountain. So first, we're going to pull out some titanium white. Okay, move it over here. It's going to have a little bit of blue in it, but not a lot. Okay, so you got to wipe your brush off, or got to wipe your knife off. Okay, got too much on the knife, so give me just a second. Wipe this off. I just put it on a paper towel, like that. Clean knife. Easy peasy. Put that paper towel somewhere where you won't step on it and rub it all over your carpet. Now, same thing as before. Then roll of paint on the knife. Now we're going to go up here. And we remembered where the light was shining. So we're going to just slowly put some color up here and let it break and pull itself apart. Okay. A little more paint. I think here. And then right here is where you really start to think what your mountain is going to look like. Because you can start to really put those highlights to work. There's so many ways to make mountains. This is just one way. I will try my best to show you as many ways as possible to make a mountain. Now we're going to just pull this straight down the side. That. Take your time. There's no race. You're just wanting a little bit of highlight to show. Remember, because the sun's coming from this side. So these parts, maybe we have some here that come down here. Okay. And maybe some here. Just mixing up the same color, just trying to add a little more highlights. So we got a lot of dark over here, so maybe we have a little bit of a mountain range part that connects here, comes down here in the front. Okay, like that. Okay. There's no messing up this part. There's no messing up this part. It's a big piece right there. It's a big piece. And if you hold your knife like this, the paint comes off really easily. Some spots I really want the white to be super bright though, because it looks more snowy, right? Now, I'm gonna, I have one more spot that I want to put some, I want some more right here. A little bit here. Or maybe here. This. Okay. Yeah. And hey, why don't we just finish it off? Shoot. Right there. Bam. Bam. That looks like enough highlights for a distant mountain to me. Or this mountain's kind of far away. It's kind of far away. A lot of fun. Super easy. Super easy. Nothing hard about that at all. Now, we're going to go in. Remember we mixed up that color down here? Okay, so we've got the blue. And we've got a little bit of black. That's our highlight color, okay? So we're going to cut across. You're going to do the exact same thing you just did with the highlights, except for you're going to pull these little pieces in between the highlights in the opposite direction, okay? Now, some of these spots you may have to use the very tip of the knife, because there's a little flat tip part. You'll see. I'll show you. Okay. So like right here, I can't really get my dark highlight in there as much as I want. Now it's in there. So you can use every piece of the knife. Okay. Let's get a little bit more. So sorry if I'm blocking anything. Let's get a little here. Here. Okay. I'm gonna go up here. Oh, a lot of shadow on this side. I'm actually gonna add some more highlight to that side too. You can always change things up. Let's throw some in right here. A little here. A little here. Okay. Now watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna go in with some black. Some black. You know where I'm going with this, right? You see the spot that I see. You'll see these little things as you paint. You want some more darkness right here. Little spots. Let the paint break. It makes all those little beautiful highlights for you. Makes your mountain look more three-dimensional too. Look at that. You got a really shadowy valley over there. See? Super, super easy. This is a dark spot. This is a dark spot right here. This is dark, dark, dark. And don't put too much. But some of these spots need some extra dark. Okay. Pull the knife out flat. Get rid of some of that. Pull this highlight right there. Look at that. That's going to become a shadow, or that's going to become mist anyways. Okay, that's it. That's all we need to do to the mountain. We can leave it just like that. Set my palette down. All right. Remember the brush that we didn't clean off, the big one? We're going to go right at the bottom and just push. Now keep this going the direction that your mountain's actually going in. Like keep the angle. Okay, so if I'm pushing over here, I want to keep the angle of the mountain. Okay. Now I'm going to tap just around the bottom kind of lightly. Try and blend the bottom in and diffuse a little bit of the color. Okay. Then just going to lightly go across just like that. Okay. And sometimes you'll do this and you'll be like, okay, I need to add some more. See, like that. Now it's pulling the color out a lot more than I wanted it to. So we're going to wipe some paint off the brush real quick. That's it. Paper towel. Wipe the brush off. Then go back in here again. Push this. Drag it out. Make it light. Then go straight back over. Lightly. You're barely even touching anything right here. Okay. And then we're going to zoom back out a little bit. And that's your little mountain in the distance you created. How about that? Looks pretty good. I like what you got going on. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, grab your palette back. Get your little 1-inch brush again. 1-inch brush. We're going to make some distant little footsie hills. Some distant foothills. And you decide where you want to start. I'm going to go with this darker gray that we had for the original shadow color. Okay, just tap the bristles, get them loaded up nice. If you need more paint, just mix up more paint. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a distant little treetops. Okay, maybe they come in just like that. All we're doing is just tapping and kind of pushing up, and it kind of makes little distant looking trees. Okay, now we're going to keep that same color, add a little bit more to the bottom like that. Okay, we're not cleaning the brush, we're not rinsing the brush off, we're literally using the same color. Okay, and now we're gonna just push up. I'm gonna kind of lift up. I'm gonna lift some of this up, make some trees standing out here. Really far away, so it's really light colored. It's in the distance. Okay. Now, we're gonna go into that same color. I'm gonna pull some brown into it though. Some brown. We'll make it darker for this next row. Okay, darker color. Push it in. Now, what you want to watch here is you don't want this to cover all of the white underneath because that creates your layer. Okay, so you want this to come down like this. Okay. Okay. Now you have two different colored hills. Now, with that color, we're going to take some brown into it. Take a little bit of blue. Brown and blue, okay? Brown and blue. And then we're going to really load up the brush. We're going to come up here and we're going to just push a couple of little things couple little tree shapes. You run out of paint, mix up some more. Put some more little tree shapes. It's just shapes. Just pushing. Just pushing. These are still really, really, really far away. Okay. You just want the little limbs and stuff to kind of stick out a little bit. Okay. Gonna push the land back in, kind of keep the same little color that we got going on. Okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll take that exact same color we just used, that brown, that blue, that little touch of black, and we'll come right here. Okay. And we'll start putting that color into the water. Just pull it down right off the edge there. Okay. Now, it's going to help create some reflections, but you want to make sure that reflections are as tall as the bushes that it's reflecting. You want it to be as realistic as possible. So that's the biggest reflection. That's the second biggest reflection. Now, we're going to wipe off the brush. Wipe off the brush. And all we're going to do is lightly pull straight across. That's it. Not too much. You'll kill the color. But now we have reflections in the water if we decide we want water right there. We don't know what we got going on over here yet. We're going to take some brown on the 2-inch brush. Some brown. I'm going to pull it out. Brown, brown, brown. Okay. Brown. We're going to take a little bit of blue. Brown and blue. Little black. Little black. This is where it's going to get scary because you're going to feel like you're going to destroy your painting. But I promise you, no matter what you do, your painting will not be destroyed. Okay? Now, all right, we're going to come in here. I'm not going to block too much of this camera. We're just going to push, kind of a tree shape. Now, what you're looking for is just a little limb shapes that you kind of create out here on the sides over the water. Everything else, you're just kind of putting color on the canvas. Okay, and you want this paint to be kind of thick. Very, very thick, actually. Because remember, you have liquid white underneath. You want it super dark. Because we're going to go back in and put regular color for highlights over this. Okay, so just push and make a lot of fun things happen right there. Super easy like that. That'd be kind of a big tree. Okay, now with that same dark color, this is how super easy this is. Super easy, super fun. Dark on the brush. Full, 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 full. Now we're going to come in off of this. We're going to push. We're going to push right here. We're going to cover this bottom spot. Make it a little bit more dark. Push the dark in. So So now we have the land that we're going to use on the front of the painting. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to push a little bit more right there. Okay. And then over here, actually what we'll do is we'll go ahead and block in the rest of this as land. So let me pull my canvas up a little bit. You may not be able to see this part, but we're just going to push the color straight on to the canvas here. Kind of make a little more. See kind of what I did there. Just push in some shapes. We're going to come back and highlight almost everything here. Before we do anything else, we're going to go in with the palette knife and we're going to just scratch in a tree trunk or two on these distant little trees we got. Grab some titanium white. Okay. A little bit of brown. A little brown and white. We can come up to this tree right here and try to figure out where tree trunk might be or two here on this one. Maybe it comes out this way. And all you're doing is just scratching in the indication of where it might be. Well, that's going to get covered up by a lot of highlights and things. So we're not going to scratch any trunks in over here until we actually put the highlights in. All right. Now, grab some more brown. Bring it back over to the white. Okay, we're going to marble up some color here. Going to cut across, roll of paint. We're going to come back over here to this little water area where we had, maybe we got a little land over here underneath these trees. So you're just cutting across and you're following where you think the water line should be. You're just kind of putting it in as you go. Just a little bit of land. Straight titanium white on here. Okay. Same thing as normal. Pull it out flat. Cut across, roll paint. You're just putting the smallest bits of highlights on this ground with your knife. Just small bits. Nothing crazy. Remember how you want your land to shape. Is it flat? Does it have an angle? Mine's got kind of a little angle going on. Now we're going to go cad yellow. Small amount of blue. Cad yellow, blue. Cad yellow, blue. See, it makes it green. We're pulling this color out. Okay. Then we're going to go in and just push in smallest bits of highlights on these trees here, okay? Just pushing. Push. Small highlights. Okay. Put a little there. There. Some out on the limbs. Right there. Okay. Just a little highlight, nothing crazy. Now a little more blue then yellow. Okay, so we changed the green color up a little bit. We're just gonna come out here. Little highlight. A little bit. Just a little. Push. Push it. Push it. Nothing crazy. Okay. Push, push, push. Push, push. Don't go overkill. Okay. We want a little bit towards the tip tops. Still want a lot of the dark. A lot of the dark still there. Remember, you're not killing everything here. This color, we're just gonna pop it in here. Just gonna pop it in there somewhere. Really simple. Okay. Maybe here. A little there. A little brown. Right there. Just like that. I'm going to pull the brush over sideways a little bit. I'm going to run it sideways. Go in smallest indication of some green highlights on this land over here. I want it to look like some of the grass is growing down on this land. Make sure you use the liquid white when you do this so that the thin paint sticks on top of the thick paint and you'll be perfectly fine. It's so subtle back there you can't really even tell. Very subtle back there. All right, we're going to change our color up a little bit. Pushing, kind of creating some grass, creating some bushes. All I'm doing is varying my yellow and my blue right now. That's all. Come back in here. And if you push correctly, you make little bushes. See the little bushes? Anybody can do this. This is super simple. We're not doing anything crazy here. We are gonna throw a little bit more of that on there though. I do like that color. It's the fun part about this. You can go out here and you throw multiple colors on top of other colors and it looks great. Looks great. Let's go over here. Remember, you don't want to kill all the dark spots because then your painting looks flat. But remember, we're going to go in, we're going to fix the bottoms. Okay, this is just such a fun way to do this. Here, here. Wherever you want the highlights to come through. I think we need more. This is a very prominent part of painting, so we're gonna throw boom, big ol' highlight. Maybe one sticks off, doesn't matter. Boom. Just don't want it to disappear. We're almost there. Right there. Right there on the edge, right into the water. Boom. Look at how simple that is. That's so fun, so easy. You've got to try it. It doesn't get any easier than that. What do y'all think? You think we should put a little yellow on these trees out here? Just the smallest touch. Barely touching it. Barely. Just on the tippy tops of the trees where the branches stick out. I'm telling you. And I didn't even use much liquid white here. That's a big one. Let's let's get some good stuff going on. There it is. Okay, now our painting looks a lot different than what we started with, right? We got a distant mountain. We got little foothills coming through. It's starting to get not so winter up here towards the front. It's starting to get spring or something like that, or however you want to do it. If you want to keep these, we'll do some paintings in the future where we keep these trees nice and snowy. But I wanted to do the first one with some color just so that you guys could see just how easy it is to just drop some color. Now remember, we also we have this color. We need to throw some of it into the water. What I want you to take away from this one is when you push, you have to practice this to be able to master it, right? And I'm still working on some things. I'm not saying I'm a professional, but I do love painting and I've done a lot of these. So when you push on your brush, certain ways will create certain different things based off of your layout of your painting, right? And certain brushes will do certain things. You can do a mountain with the knife like we did here. We can do a mountain with a 1-inch brush. We can do a mountain with a fan brush. We can do a mountain with a filbert brush. There's so many different ways to do every single one of these things. I just tried to pick the fastest one for you guys today. So let's, I might get in the way here for a second. I just want to, I'm just going to throw in where some little sticks might be holding these little bushes and things that we created in the front. There's a lot of ways to do this too. You can easily do this with a liner brush. Remember that tree trunk we did earlier? And that thing, just in between some of these spots where you think a limb might, maybe one bends up, one bends down. Just nothing crazy. But now it looks more like we got some tree trunks going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about all we got for this little episode. This was just a basic. There's a lot more fun we can have when we utilize a lot more colors. I just wanted to show you that you could use very few colors and make a lot of the basics. Your first painting, you got a nice mountain, you got some good clouds, a pretty sky, you got some distant trees back here, you've got some trees up in the front. You use your greens to put different colors in to make it look like there's layers and depth. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. I'm gonna try and put out two. Let's zoom out so you can see me. I'm gonna try to put out 2 of these a week. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, please. I will try my best to answer them from everybody. I want this to be a learning channel. You guys learning along with me and me also learning more and more because I still have a ways to go with my paintings. And, you know, I'll show you more of my original stuff I have hanging on the walls and things like that. And I look forward to doing the next video. If you decided to paint along with me, I will be putting out a email address soon where you can send me a picture. I'd love to see what you came up with and how your painting turned out. And I'd love to feature them in my upcoming videos so that everyone can see what you've created as well. So thank you very much. Appreciate you guys coming by. And I hope you had a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys in the next one, okay?